Hey guys, I kind of want to do a little bit of a different video on how people have begun to stop playing Rogue Company, or they're thinking about, stopping playing, and for the reason of people simply don't think it has what it takes to be a successful game. So I kind of want to go over some of these things and go over if the game is really worth your time, and even money since it's currently in the closed beta phase. So there's plenty of concerns, and one of them being the infrequent updates. There's not enough fresh things being added to the game to keep players engaged and to have them to want to log on every single day. This point, honestly, in my mind, doesn't really need to be one. One reason being that in recent years, the game Fortnite, for example, it gets weekly updates, and I feel like every game after that, the player base goes back to Fortnite and is like, oh yeah, this was fun, and they think that the game that they're playing has to have that, which isn't the case. I really don't see this particular game needing weekly updates to survive whatsoever. Another thing is the lack of game modes to play and keep the game fresh. And with this point, I think of something like maybe Rainbow Six Siege, which also has a lack of game modes, but look at how successful it is. Obviously this game is the furthest thing from Siege, but it was just a point to show that game modes aren't going to single-handedly improve a game. Now maybe too many people have seen this kind of setup with a low amount of game modes, so I can see why you'd maybe want to have more game modes. And it's honestly a very valid point, and people can just be sick and tired of the same game, which with this one I'm in the middle of. I do think more game modes would be fun, but I also think of this game doesn't need to have a load of game modes to be fun. So like I said, I'm kind of in the middle. Another frequent point I see people make is the amount of glitches that are in the game, as well as the toxicity in the community. The developers can come out and say a bug has been fixed, and then you hop onto the game excited and you run into the same exact bug afterwards, maybe even weeks later. Doesn't even have to be the same day. I understand that point of view of seeing that someone says it is out of the game, and then later on running into that same bug can be super frustrating. But I also see that the game is in beta. This is a game that is in beta, right? So glitches and bugs are everywhere. There's no getting rid of them, at least not yet. It is not a full game that's polished. But once again, I can see how it can be frustrating. Now on to the toxicity I was going to talk about, and this is not the game's fault at all. This really just comes down to the community playing the game. And this can be any community, it's not just Rogue Company. It's really just talking and playing with each other as we're human beings, and not some like robot that has zero feelings. But at the same time, this happens everywhere. It's not just Rogue Company. People, they have a hard day, they get on the internet and they just forget that other people are human beings and just let all that pent up anger out, and the other person on the other end they have to take it. So it's not really a valid point, and it really is up to us as the players and as the community to change this one. Now on to probably the last and maybe smallest, depending on how you see the game, and people aren't really liking the shop that they added. The community feels that the skins are really overpriced and that they just aren't special enough to be paying what they're worth. With this one, I'm kind of in the middle, as the pricing they place on the skins is pretty standard for games nowadays, but at the same time, standard isn't always okay. They've made it so you have to pay them more than what a skin is cost. So say if the skin is 1,200 tokens, you have to pay for a bundle that's like $20 that gives you more tokens than what that skin is worth. So you have leftover tokens just to blow off, I guess. On the other hand, it is going to be released as a free-to-play game at some point, so they'll need to support the game in some way. I thought that was maybe they can add it so you can use reputation, which is the in-game currency, if you don't know, to purchase these items in the shop. But once again, these devs want to make money, they want to support the game, so it's really just a tight situation. So the whole point of this video is to show why some people are backing out of Rogue Company this early, and I honestly hope this isn't a trend when it's fully released, where people hop on for a month at most, and when something happens that they don't want, they leave. Personally, I believe Rogue Company has all the components to be an amazing game, especially in the esports field. While I may be biased since my channel is currently revolving around Rogue, I just believe that this game needs some time and the pieces will fall into place. Obviously it is a beta at this current time, so not everything is, it's not perfect, it's not going to be, but it'll come, and I know that this game is just going to be great. Alright everyone, let me know down in the comments if you think Rogue has what it takes to be a prosperous game, and if it's going to be around for years to come. And if not, maybe let me know down in the comments what you think it might have to do to get to that point. If you enjoyed this little rant, and if you haven't done already, be sure to drop a like and a subscribe for daily content, and just talk down in the comments. I love to see you guys talk, and I always check every single one. As always, thanks for watching.